back at it again, and we've got to talk about Mr. Tucker Carlson. But before we hop into it, I want to show you guys another clip because these guys are scared, and their strategy is not going to work. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
I think it's completely misplaced. I think this Colorado Supreme Court decision is badly wrong for multiple reasons. Number one, the 14th Amendment provides that Congress can pass legislation to carry its provisions into effect, which Congress has done on many aspects. It has not put anything with respect to Section 3 on the books since just after the Civil War. Second, the idea that 50 different state courts can decide a question involving the highest elective office in the executive branch, interpreting the federal Constitution as to what constitutes an insurrection against the federal government is incoherent. And I think undoubtedly the Supreme Court's going to have to clear that up. In terms of what the framers of the 14th Amendment meant, I think it's quite clear that the radical Republicans in Congress who wanted to suppress the secessionist advocates and governments of the southern states that succeeded would not provide, on this critical question of the offices that are going to be denied to people who broke their oath to the United States, that you're going to put decision-making authority on that in the hands of the states, including the former secessionist states. That, if that was their intention, they were delusional when they did it. So I'd be willing to bet a small amount of money here that the Supreme Court, if it gets to the merits of this, if it has to, will reverse. There's no other logical way you can apply this, and it would sow chaos in elections as far as the eye could see.
So you heard it there. It will be overturned. That was John Bolton, who said himself, this is getting overturned. But, this is, the Democrats, they always preach about threat to democracy. Threat to democracy. Trump is a threat to democracy. If we don't win, it'll be the end of our democracy. First of all, we live in a constitutional republic, so I want to make that clear before somebody comments that, yo, Rich, it's a constitutional republic. Yes, I know. I am well aware. Okay? But this is what Democrats always preach. But it's not what they actually do. Check out what Tucker has to say.
This was pretty puzzling to watch. Whatever else January 6th was, and in some ways we still don't know exactly what it was not a Trump-led insurrection. The crowd had no guns. They had no plan to overthrow the government. Nothing like
and that's been my argument whenever this has come up, in conversations with folks. Like, explain to me how a group of individuals, I don't know exactly how many of them there were. We'll say 5,000. We'll say 5,000, okay? We'll say 5,000. A group of 5,000 individuals with no guns are going to take over an entire government by running into a building? Joe Biden himself even said, actually, let me find that clip, because I think I have a clip of Joe Biden actually saying it. Oh, crap. Where was it? There's a clip of Joe Biden. He literally said himself, you're going to need, if you are, he was talking about, goodness gracious. He was talking about taking away weapons of war, AR-15s and things. That's what it was. And he was like, we're going to take away these AR-15s. You're going to need a lot more than an AR-15 in order to fight against the government, because he was saying that's the Republicans' talking point, to stand up against the government. And he was like, you're going to need F-16s and nukes if you want to fight against the government. Oh, crap. Where is that clip? I know I had it. I lost it. Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Right now, you can't go out and buy an automatic weapon. You can't go out and buy a cannon. And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale we use.
So Joe Biden said it himself. If you're going to take over the United States government, which that's not what they were doing, But if you're going to need F-15s and nuclear weapons. So explain to me how those individuals were taking over the government. Explain that one to me. Now, is storming the Capitol a good thing? Obviously not, Come on now, let's be serious. Destroying property or of any sort, which very few of them did, and we could argue that some of them weren't even, or the ones that were doing that weren't even true Trump supporters. They were plants, I guess you could say, allegedly. Got to say allegedly, of course. So I don't see the argument for that being, oh yeah, they were trying to take over the government. How? With what weapons? So running inside of a building is all of a sudden taking over the most powerful military on this planet? That's all of it. Like, literally, you could just, I don't want to say that because YouTube might not like me saying that, but that's a losing battle 10 times out of 10. If that's your idea of taking over a government, you're losing 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sunday. Like 7 days out of the week, you're losing. What? It doesn't even make sense. But anyway, let's continue.
Like that has ever emerged. And above all, Trump was not leading it. He was miles away at the White House at the time, where he issued a public statement calling for calm and nonviolence. So why were the people on television telling us that Trump led an insurrection? This was, of course, a lie, but it was also a very obvious lie. So clearly we were watching the rollout of a talking point, words crafted for a specific purpose. But what was the purpose? We got an answer to that question yesterday when the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that because he led an insurrection, Donald Trump's name cannot appear on the state's ballot next fall. The 4 liberal judges who concluded this cited as their justification Article 3 of the 14th Amendment, which was written in 1868 to keep former Confederate officials from holding office. That was the sum total of their reasoning. Despite the fact Donald Trump has never been convicted by any court of insurrection, and although the 14th Amendment specifically does not apply to the presidency, Donald Trump cannot run for president because he's an insurrectionist.
That's another great point as well. Where's the conviction? So now we can just do whatever we want to people, even though they haven't been actually convicted of anything. That's the standard. I mean, I guess Republicans did kind of set that standard with the Republican congressman that got kicked out recently, Santos. That was his name. I guess Republicans did kind of set that standard a little bit there. Well, I won't say Republicans. Uniparty members of Congress set that standard. True Republicans didn't vote to kick someone out who hadn't even been convicted of a crime yet. That's just absolutely ridiculous to me. Whether you like him or not, okay? Which, listen, I wasn't the biggest fan of Santos, okay? But he wasn't convicted of anything. He did not get convicted in a court of law in front of his peers, in front of a jury of his peers. Nothing. But he's out of Congress now. Makes no sense. And now you see them doing it with Trump, which maybe that was planned. Maybe they wanted to have a precursor to this happening to Trump, even though he hasn't been convicted of insurrection. I don't know. What do y'all think? Uniparty strategy right there? Maybe.
Because he's an insurrectionist. This seemed like lunacy, because it was lunacy. 3,000 miles away in El Salvador, there was no question about what was happening. The United States has lost its ability to lecture any other country about, quote, democracy, wrote Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele. And yet in this country,
I agree,
no one on the left dared say that. Instead, Donald Trump's enemies celebrated. The Atlantic magazine expressed gratitude that unelected judges had, quote, rescued the country from the desires of voters, because actually, that's democracy. And then there was Jenna Griswold, that's the Colorado Secretary of State. You may not have seen her before, but you will instantly recognize the category she represents. Unhappy 39-year-old liberal women with Ivy League degrees and a deep streak of authoritarian impulses. Here's Griswold on MSNBC last night explaining that a conventional legal process is no longer necessary for the left to get its way. No more trials or evidence or jury verdicts. An accusation made on television is now enough to remove a frontrunner from the presidential race. If Nancy Pelosi and Joe Scarborough call you bad, Americans are not allowed to vote for you. Watch.
Look, I believe he incited the insurrection. There were big questions around Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, and the Colorado Supreme Court has weighed in a very loud way, making themselves clear. Frankly, we've never had a president try to steal the presidency and engage in insurrection ever before. So Trump's actions are unprecedented. The Colorado
How exactly? And this is what I'm still confused about. How exactly did he try to steal it? Did he say, or did he call for martial law and say, you know what? I'm staying in this White House. I'm taking over the military. You guys are gonna have to drag me out a cold, limp body in a wooden box if you want me out of here. Did he say that? No. And more importantly, did he do that? No. When it came time to leave, he walked out just like everybody else. So this whole narrative of, oh, Trump tried to take over. How? How? Because he questioned some things? He had some questions? Okay, what about Stacey Abrams in Georgia? Did she not have some questions? Last time I checked, she didn't do it once, but twice. What about Hillary Clinton? And don't say she conceded, because we got it on tape. We have it on tape. Oh, he knows he's illegitimate. We got it on tape. We got the footage. 1080p. These guys are hypocrites, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Lunatics.
So Trump's actions are unprecedented. The Colorado Supreme Court confirmed that the district court got it right, that he did engage in insurrection. I think Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has to apply to the presidency, because if not, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. And in a country of laws where no man is above another, we can't have one office be able to do whatever they want when it comes to rebellion and then be able to be seated in office again.
None of this seems very American. All of it looks like the actual end of democracy.
Facts. Facts. And it's the one thing that I've said time and time again. Democrats do and are exactly what they accuse Republicans of doing or being. Democrats are exactly that. Exactly that. They accuse Trump and Republicans of, or MAGA, of ending democracy, being a threat to democracy. And yet you see them trying to take Trump off the ballot, which I thought a democracy, the people get to decide. The people vote and get a choice. Isn't that what a democracy is? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You know, call me crazy, but isn't that part of what a democracy is? The people decide? What are they afraid of? Why won't they let democracy play out if they want democracy? Like, it makes zero sense. Oh, in order to save democracy, we're going to end democracy. In order to save, oh man, we have to basically act as if someone is convicted before they're actually convicted, because that's going to save people. Okay, so anybody can make any type of accusation these days, I guess, and it's just how it goes. I don't know, man. I'm confused. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.